I call this the little praises through the day. The little praises through the day. This is a faith story. It's just a clip out of 5 days in my life and Barb's life, my wife, and just, you know, the little things that God does all along the way that I'm amazed at. So this one started off with Santa Claus. Yep. Right now it's Christmas Eve. Ho, ho, ho. But Santa Claus, last Saturday, I got talked into being a Santa Claus for a House of Hope, which takes care of kids, little kids that they're from single parent homes, and they're just, you know, the lady who runs it, really cool lady, she just tries to keep them off the street, you know, pays them to do odd jobs and stuff, and just, anyway, so they were having a celebration dinner, and they wanted Santa to be there. Well, a friend of ours would graciously loaned me his Santa outfit, and he just bought it and brought it back from Canada, you know. So I mean, it's really new, really nice, looked really good, and I barely fit. I mean, man, I didn't need any pillows. It was all the real McCoy, you know, belly full of jelly, and it was a real thing, you know. So anyway, we go over there, I do the Santa thing, and we have lots of fun with the kids, and the kids are really cute, and all these things. And then, at the end, they give us an envelope with money. And I'm like, no, keep your money. You know, I'm just doing this for fun. You know, and then Barb's like, now, you know, you're going to steal their blessing if you don't, you know, let them, you know, give us the money, and then, okay, fine. So we took the envelope. We didn't know how much was in it. We just took it. And then that evening, later we found out it was 100 ringgit. Oh, and I should say, we live in Malaysia, so a lot of things I'm going to say are related to Southeast Asia and Malaysia, and so you got to put this story in that kind of environment, okay? So anyway, so we that, and then somehow I got talked into a friend of ours was they have a small group, and at the end of the year they always have a dinner somewhere, and this time they were meeting in a real nice restaurant, and they wanted Santa to come for the adults at the restaurant, and there was a couple of kids there. But they wanted Santa there. So since I still had the suit, we decided to go over there and do Santa. Okay, so I go over and do Santa, and they're a great, fun bunch of people. I mean, just they're from our church, and just they're just great bunch of people. So you know, I did my ho 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 ho, you know, little thing. Ho! Oh wait, let me get it right. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. But anyway, that's the kind of thing I was doing. So, except I had all my Santa and a beard and, you know, all this kind of stuff all over me. And so at the end of that, we were also given an envelope with money in it, okay? But during the dinner, here comes the little thing, okay? During the dinner, I was sitting not far from one of our pastors, and he mentioned about he started talking about a pressure cooker that he got a really good deal on Lazada, which is like Southeast Malaysia's version of Amazon. Okay, that he got a really good deal on that, and it was like 325 ringgit or something like that. And that's pretty pricey for us, you know. But I've been actually thinking about a pressure cooker for quite some time, especially after we had dinner with I call them Cousin Andy and Lydia, because Cousin Andy and Lydia are not our cousins. He's American from Louisiana. She's Korean, from Korea. And they're just great, but they feel like family. They're just great people. And they had us over for dinner, and she made rice in a pressure cooker that was like Oh, you know, for a fat guy like me, man, that was great stuff. So anyway, so I asked her how she made this rice, and she was explaining about the pressure cooker, 4 minutes and so many seconds, and bang, she turns it off, you know. It was really great. But also because we entertain a lot of company, and we have a lot of people stay with us, I've been thinking for quite a while that it'd be nice to have a pressure cooker, because then I can cook some food faster, and when we have lots of people. Okay, so anyway, so I'm sitting at the table in my Santa outfit in this restaurant, and he starts talking about this, and he said the model, and it was a real model. It's a good model. You know, a lot of things here you buy, they just stop working in a year, and but this was a good brand, and normally it was like, you know, $500-600, and now he had gotten one for $325. So anyway, so I'm like, well, wow, I really should look into this. And so as we're going out, after the ho 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 and to all good night thing, you know, we get out to the car, we look at the money, and it's like 200 ringgit. So we had 100 from the morning, 200. We now have the money to buy a steamer. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So I go get on Lazada the next day, and sure enough, there's you know, on Monday, there it is. It's still on sale, and so I ordered this thing, okay, and God provided the money, so there we go. So that was a praise, okay. So then Thursday, we're going to jump ahead to Thursday. Other things happened in the middle, but now we get to Thursday, okay, because that's what I'm starting. You know, start remembering things. So on Thursday, Barb gets ready to go in the morning. She's got tutoring through the day that she does, which is helpful for us. And so she gets in the little car. We have a little 3-cylinder can shill that's like fitting me into a sardine can. It's a little bitty thing. I can hardly drive it because my feet get all tangled in the pedals. But at any rate, so she gets in this thing, goes down the road, and unknown to me, the timing chain breaks. That's it. She's on the main drag around the island. There's a main road that goes around the perimeter of the island, and she was on that, and she was probably about 12, 15 minutes, 20 minutes from the house, the apartment, and bang, it stops in traffic, and that's a bad thing in Penang, okay? So she's like, but where the Lord had, another small praise, where the Lord had her break down was right across the street from a Shell station, okay? But she's in the car, and the car won't run, and she's got to get it into the Shell station because it's a safe place. Lots of places you can't pull off because in Penang there's not many gaps between buildings and things and people, and we're just all packed in here. But that happened right across the street from the Shell. So Barb tries to start the car, and the starter drives the flywheel. Anyway, she actually moves forward a couple inches. So she does it again and moves forward some more. And the Lord protecting her from all these cars honking at her and flying by her and everything, just inch by inch by inch, and into the Shell station she goes. And so she ends up in the Shell station. She gets parked behind another car, and she calls me and says, you know, I'm broke down. Can you come and get me? I mean, we have our can show, which is, you know, the sardine car, and then we have our a motorbike. All right, but Barb can't drive a motorbike. Only me, because Barb can't lean. Because when you ride a motorcycle, you gotta lean when you go into turns, and she can't lean. So I lean, and she goes the other way, and I'm like, woo. It's hard to keep the motorcycle on the road. And when she's behind me, sitting with me. So anyway, she can't drive the motorcycle. So we go up. We get the. I got on the phone and I called this repair guy I know, and he said, okay, he'll go up and go get her. Okay, because I'm thinking that would be better for her, and then she could ride back with those guys, and then I could go pick her up at the repair shop, and she wouldn't have to ride so far on the back of the motorcycle, scaring the daylights out of her, screaming as I get near to rock walls and cars and all the things she normally does when we're riding together, okay? So anyway, I call him, he's going to go pick her up. So he goes over there, and somewhere in the process of Barbie and I communicating by the phone, kind of got lost that she wanted me to come out to get her, and I'm like saying, you need just grab a ride back. Somewhere it got lost. So she starts, the guys ask her, do you want to ride? And she says, no, my husband's going to get me. Okay, so they leave. And then she starts walking in our direction, thinking that'd save a few minutes. So she's walking in our direction, and finally, and I'm thinking, oh, why didn't you just get a... So I call her back, and I said, you didn't get a ride with those guys? Just save time, because she had appointments to get to. So anyway, so those guys left, took off with the car, and she started walking. And then after we had our conversation about her getting a ride, I said, okay, well, she gets to an intersection, and the tow truck pulls up at the intersection and stops, because they had to go the back way around to get to where she was, and they both came to the intersection at the same time. So she just walked over and got in the tow truck and got a ride back. That was another small praise. That was great. Okay? So that was Thursday. Okay. So, and the other thing that happened on Thursday was because the car broke down, she didn't make it to her tutoring, that rechanged her schedule, and this and that, and she was bummed that she kind of missed out on that, and all this and that. And finally, but because her schedule gets rearranged, she ends up being with someone to tutor and gets to share, and an open door just happens with this person, and she gets to share Jesus with them. And just flows out, another small praise, because that's not so easy to do here where we're at. And that just happened. And so anyway, so that was Thursday. And then, so also Thursday, the pressure cooker came. All right, so it shows up. And I'm like, wow, we got a broken car and we got a new pressure cooker. And it's too bad we, can't ride the pressure cooker to church or something. But anyway, so so that then we get through Thursday, and then Friday, I'm working on this video stuff, and I can't, and the video editor that I just bought, which does video record, also does video recording, turned out it's an awesome video editor, but it's really not a great recorder, okay? So I'm on the internet, and I'm looking for all these free cam recorders, I don't want to record my screen, I want to record me talking, so I'm looking, and I'm going through all these things, and then I get to 14 free webcams, software programs. So I'm going down through reading all the descriptions and the pros and the cons and everything. I get to the bottom, and they say, and this was different than all the others I looked at, all the other web pages, and they say, oh, if you have a Logitech webcam, their recorder is really nice. And I'm going, wait, I have a Logitech. I've only seen a controller. I've never seen a recorder software with my Logitech. So I go down, I look, and here, but buried in there is webcam recorder. I mean, I've been using the controls all along, the control function for the webcam. I never saw this, which is what I'm recording on now. So I got a really nice webcam recorder for free. Well, for free when I bought the webcam, but I had it. I didn't even know I had it. I'm like, duh. So this is another little praise. This is great. This is another little praise. And then that night, Barb and I are sitting there, and we're talking about everything. We're talking about the car breaking down. We're talking about this, that, and the other. Then we're talking about the Lord doing this and the Lord doing that, and all through the day, as we just little things that He does through the day, as we're going along, and then and we're on the 17th floor. We usually, our condo or apartment, we leave the front door open. We leave the balcony back open. The front door faces the jungle. The back balcony overlooks the ocean, and we get this really great breeze through there. And we love the breeze, big time, especially in the hot southeast days. A breeze is nice. So, but it's nighttime, okay? We're sitting there, it's nighttime, and we love candles, candles are nice, and, we light a candle, and, the wind blows it out. We'll light it, stay lit for a little longer, nice ambient light, and then it's out, the wind. And I was sitting there saying to Barb, I said, what we need is just a windproof lantern, windproof light. And she goes, oh, just a minute. And she walks over, and on our bookcase, sitting there for 3 years in our faces, was a nice little lantern with a little vent on top of it, and it's like a little hurricane light. And you open it up, and you put a tea candle down in there, and light it and shut it, and we set it in the wind, and we did it, and we set it in the wind. We had a good breeze coming through, and that little light just shined. And it was nice, and it didn't blow out, and it was just great, So we were like, wow, man, Lord, there's another little praise. Another small praise, God just brings these things along. So this story is about these small praises and the things the Lord has done through our day. Oh, and here's another one. Was that after the pressure cooker came, the next day I was cooking something in it. So that'd be like a Friday. So the next day I was cooking something in it, and Barb came, and it was cooked, and I took the lid off, depressurized it, took the lid off, and then Barbie didn't come home until way later, and I thought, well, gee, too bad this just doesn't heat up without the lid on it, and it's an electronic steamer. So I pushed the hot button, and it started heating and boiling. And it has a warm button that'll keep things simmering. And I'm like, it works without the lid. This gives me another appliance to work with. I have one burner, induction cooking burner that I use for everybody we cook for. But now I have another cooking pot and a steam pressure cooker. And I'm like, oh, this is another small praise. Wow. Wow, that's awesome. I'm really happy. And so anyway, I just wanted to share with you just a series of small praises that have happened out of 5 days in our lives. And, we pray, Lord, help us to see, not be so preoccupied. Help that we miss the things that you do, the little things you do. It's really awesome when the Lord heals somebody or something cool like that happens, but I am just wowed by all the little small things He does through the day. And we pray, Lord, just open our eyes to see the little praises along the way, through the day. And so I pray that for you, that you will see the little praises through the day and thank Him and praise Him. So that's what I wanted to share with you for this faith story, was the little praises, and they're just everywhere. Okay, thank you, and God bless you. Oops, I forgot. I had two more small praises to tell you about, and I got sidetracked and something happened, and anyway, I didn't get them in the last video, so I wanted to add them real quickly. Number one is that when our car broke down, that left us without a car. So no way to get around or for Barb to tutor or anything else she was doing. But remember our acquired cousins, Andy and Lydia? Well, they had left us with their car, and because Andy wanted us to just kind of drive his car around a little bit, because he was going to be back, they were going to be back in the States for like a month or so, and they just, it's good to keep a car moving, especially around here, So they had left their car with us. So now we had a car to drive, and Andy and Lydia don't know about this, so thank you, Cousin Andy. Thank you, Cousin Lydia. Very much appreciated. And it's a small praise. It's a small praise. About the time they come back is about the time our car should be done. So it's another small praise. We just, wow, Lord, we just appreciate that. So then, and then another thing was Barb, about 3 days before we had our Christmas dinner, she just really wanted to get some nice white Christmas lights to string around the balconies. So as the dinner waned on into the evening and it got dark, these nice pretty lights would light up out there on the balcony while we had the cousins and their kids and grandkids there, and just that'd be really nice. And what she really wanted was warm white lights. Okay, so we looked on Lazada, Amazon, the version of Amazon here in Malaysia, and they had all kinds of colored lights. I mean, colored lights all over the place, colored lights. But white lights, they had a few, they had some, yeah. And then, but Barb really wanted warm white, and they had a few warm white, but nothing. Some of them, 3 days, Lazada, sometimes you order, and next day it comes. But in this case, the warm whites were brought in from overseas, so they were going to take a week or two to get to us. So that was out. So Barb later ended up at a giant mall not far from here, called Queens Bay, and she goes in there and she starts, she looks through all the regular stores, for white Christmas lights. She finds plenty of colored Christmas lights. They're like, twinkling and blinking everywhere and doing all the little things that, little lights do. And anyway, she can't find any white lights. Okay, so then she finds a LED light store that's supposed to have all kinds of lights, and she's expecting no problem. She goes in there, hey, do you have any white Christmas lights? Nope, no white Christmas lights. Okay, so then she goes over to an Ace Hardware, which is supposed to have everything known to man in there. So she goes in and asks for, do you have any white Christmas lights? And they're like, no, got lots of colored Christmas lights, but no white Christmas lights. Okay, let alone warm white, which is what Barbie really had in her heart to get, wanted to get. So anyway, so she's roaming around, and she finds herself standing in front of a balloon store, thinking, why am I standing here in front of a balloon store? They don't have lights. But then she kind of felt like maybe she should just go ask. So she wanders into the balloon store. She goes up to this guy, and she says, the clerk there, and she says, do you have any white Christmas lights? And he just looks at her. And the look on his face, he's thinking, lady, Are are you crazy? This is a balloon store. Christmas lights in a balloon store? And what she didn't realize was he didn't understand any English. So she's thinking, he's thinking this, that she's being nutty, an old, oops, she's not old, never old. Barb's never old. No. She's a young gal in the store looking for white lights. Yikes. Anyway, so she goes on, and the guy's just like, he just shakes his head. He goes and gets a young gal who comes in. She's got this bright fluorescent pink hair, and she comes up to Barb, and Barb says, do you have any white Christmas lights? And she speaks pretty good English. And she goes, yeah, I think we do. Yeah. And then Barb goes, well, what I really need are warm white Christmas lights. Do you happen to have those? And she goes, I think so. And she goes over and she digs around through the boxes, and she comes up with a box, and they're white lights, and they're warm white lights. They take them out of the box, they plug them in. You got to test everything here before you take it home. And plug it in, and they work, and they're great. She brings them home. She's all excited. She tells me this story and everything, and she shows me the box. And you know how they have the color stickers for the different colors of lights? Or different things have color stickers. Like if it's blue, it'll have a blue sticker, or red, it'll have a red sticker, or whatever. Well, this white lights had a green sticker on them, and she's like, oh, and they're unopened. Those weren't the ones we looked at. Oh no! Now she's all, and so we take them out, we plug them in, but they're warm white. They're not warm green, they're warm white. And Barbie has these nice warm whites, and they looked awesome in the evening during our Christmas dinner. So it was another small praise from the Lord. Just these small praises all over the place. We just pray that we see them more and more every day. So thank you for listening, and God bless, and talk to you later. Bye.